Coca-Cola Bottling Company.
And a forward for Wichita State, a 6'8" senior from Columbia, South Carolina, 34, Xavier McDaniel. And for Bradley, a 6'8" senior from Chicago, 34, Boise Winters. Another forward for Wichita State, a 6'7" sophomore from New York, 44, Gus Santos. And for Bradley, a 6'7" sophomore from Gary, Indiana, 41, Derek Parks. The center for Wichita State, a 6'9" sophomore from Wichita, Kansas, 53, Henry Carr. And for Bradley, a 6'8" junior from Chicago, number 3, massive Mike Williams. And a guard for Wichita State, a 5'11" sophomore from Newburgh, New York, number 4, Mike Arline. And for Bradley, a 6-foot junior from Niles, Illinois, number 15, Jimmy Ladd. And a guard for the Shockers, a 6'4" senior from Wichita, number 22, Aubrey Sherrod. And for Bradley, a 6'3" freshman from Chicago, number 33, Hersey Hawkins, your Bradley Braves.
There you have your starting lineups. We'll be back in a minute with the opening tip. Stay tuned. But right now, we're down to business with the Bradley Braves. The opening tip finally controlled by McDaniel, and he walked with it before he got the pass away, so it's Bradley ball.
Now the tip came back to, and Xavier moved without dribbling. Saw the open man. You know, this Bradley team has come about quickly this year because of a transfer from Cincinnati. Mike Williams has done an extremely good job for them, as well as the great freshman out of Chicago, Hersey Hawkins. He was the player of the year in the Chicago area, and a really great recruiting coup to get him.
You heard Mike Williams introduced as massive Mike Williams, and that is no understatement. He's number 3 and a big one. This guy you already know all about. Boise Winters, the only senior on the Bradley Ball Club. He's been doing that for many years for Dick Versace, and he has Bradley off to an early 2-0 lead. Now the Shocks will try to pull it even. Down on the left baseline, no good for Gus Santos, and a travel on Derek Parks, who gets up with a pained expression on his face, and he's just a bit injured. He may have sprained the right ankle as he's now untying the shoe.
Bradley opening in a zone as we suspected that they would. They've played the zone throughout the season. And it does look like maybe a slight sprain. Or at least strained shoelaces, maybe.
Either way, Parks stays in the game, and it's Shocker ball. On the baseline, over the top of McDaniel, and the Shocks will set the offense. Bradley leading it early, 2-0. Aubrey deep in the right corner. No good on the shot. Boise Winters tried to bounce it off Henry Carr, who jumped right over the ball, and here comes Jimmy Less. One of the really fine point guards in the Valley. I love to watch this kid play.
He's the heart of this basketball team.
The pass down low, and an offensive foul on Mike Williams. First foul on him.
Henry Carr had perfect position, took the charge.
Pretty good crowd here tonight in Peoria.
Well, it's an excellent crowd considering that the students aren't back from vacation. This place would be packed tonight. Wichita State always, they say, a very popular team coming into Peoria.
Peoria Civic Center will seat about 10,400, and most of those seats full tonight. Mike Arline, top of the key, knocks it down, and we're all even at 2. First 2 of the night for the sophomore out of Newburgh, New York.
Well, Aubrey Sherrod made that play. He penetrated, drew the defense toward him, and kicked off to Mike Arline, and it's good to see young R-line getting off to a good start, shooting the ball with confidence. Xavier McDaniel has a chore right there. If he can stop Winters, it would be a big key in this ball game.
Well, there are some great head-to-head matchups in this ball game. R-line Les will be a good one to keep an eye on. Winters and McDaniel. And that time, Mike Williams getting the better of Henry Carr. First two for Williams, edging Bradley back into a 2-point lead. R-line hit the last one. This one,
Mike slightly off balance when he took the shot. He was dead open, but he was a little bit off balance.
Boise Winters claimed the defensive rebound, and now Bradley will try to extend their lead.
Again, Xavier really concentrating on Winters. That'll be a big key in the ball game if he can handle Winters.
Williams kicked it out to Jim Les, who has really been shooting the basketball very well. He was the Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Week this past week. Derek Parks missed badly from the left wing, and the ball out of bounds will belong to Wichita State.
He might be a player they can afford to leave open. His technique didn't look very good then. It looked like all arm and supinated a little bit when he shot the ball.
Parks is only a 38% shooter from the field. The foul on the play is on Hersey Hawkins.
Bradley coming out high with their trap defense. Wichita State's going to have to get the ball to the end line, force the defense back, and then get the ball reversed quickly.
Correction on the foul. They had it on Boise Winters. He was standing right next to Hawkins, and I picked the wrong guy. First foul on Boise.
Bradley in a 1-2-2 zone.
McDaniel, tough turnaround jumper, strong all the way. Gus, the defensive rebound, ball knocked out of bounds by Jim Les, so the Shocks will keep it.
Mark in the zone. Notice they're playing a big man at the top. There's a reason that you do that in the 1-2-2 zone is he comes out and can cause some problems up high, but he also can slide down, become the middleman in the zone. You can go from a 1-2-2 zone to a 2-1-2 zone easily. Good
Gus
movement
Santos
by Wichita State.
Got the ball to the wide open Gus Santos. First two of the evening for Gus. And we're all even again. 4-4 the score with about 17 minutes and 10 seconds. Just getting started here in Peoria. Should be a good one. Always is when the Shocks and the Braves get together. Boise Winters top of the key. 4 points now for Boise. You know, Ted, we mentioned Bradley is riding a 6-game winning streak. Over the course of those 6 games, Winters averaging 26 points a game and really shooting the ball well.
Well, it's important that Xavier doesn't let him get hot. If a player like Boise gets going in the ball game, it's really hard to cool him.
That foul was on Hersey Hawkins. First personal foul on the freshman. As you look at Gene Smithson, kind of a homecoming for Gene. He spent a lot of time in this part of the country, was a high school player here in the state of Illinois, college player as well, and of course coached many years in the high schools up the road in Chicago.
That was good penetration by Mike Arline. When he penetrates again, must have picked up his pivot foot there. Ron Spindler made the call. Very veteran official here in the Missouri Valley.
One other Valley score to pass along. 9 minutes to play in the first half. Creighton is leading West Texas 22-12.
West Texas comes in here to play on Saturday. Be a tough road trip for them. Thought we had a travel by Winters there. Picked up his pivot foot.
Yeah, Boise kind of hot, but got away with it. Here's Hersey Hawkins. Wide open Jimmy Les, top of the key. First 2 points for the 5'11 junior out of Niles, Illinois.
Hawkins penetrated, and it forced the Wichita State defense to support, and Les slid away from support into the open spot.
Les is renowned as one of the fine assist people in the league, but he can knock it down if you leave him wide open. Aubrey Sherrod, super job on the offensive glass.
Well, it was a good shot by Xavier on the strong side, and then Aubrey found his way on the weak side, came in, excellent rebound.
First 2 of the night for Sherrod, and there's a hand check on Mike Arline. First foul on Michael. And it'll be Bradley ball when we come back. The timeout comes with 2-0 in the conference. Both of those wins coming on the road, and those are just, what a great way to start out your conference season.
Well, as I mentioned before the game, that gives them 2 pluses. You don't have to win very many more on the road if you can just hold out at home and not lose any at home. That's the key, not to lose at home.
Of course, the Shockers will try to do something about that tonight here in Peoria as Bradley inbounding on the non-shooting foul by Michael Arline before the timeout. Nice defensive board for Henry Carr, and the outlet pass to former Heights teammate Aubrey Sherrod. They found a wide open McDaniel. He dumped it down for the first 2 of the night.
Excellent break.
And we mentioned life on the road in the Valley. A halftime score now from Amarillo. Creighton leading West Texas 34-22.
Mike Arline doing a good job putting some heat on Les, making him work every trip down the court.
Mike Williams, the transfer from Cincinnati, now with 4 points.
If a player gets hot like Winters or Williams, the next best thing to do is just completely deny him the ball, because you know you're in trouble if they catch the ball.
Gus Santos, that's a plus from the outside for Gus. He's got 4 points.
Well, credit Henry Carr in the middle, made a nice pass. Wichita State handling their half-court trap pretty well.
All even once again. 10-10 the score with 14:40 to go first half. Williams again. Boy, he is just a load inside. Henry Carr fouling on the play as Williams just too much to handle. It's like when he gets his mind to go to the hole. It's tough to shut him down. In the ball game, Jerry Thomas for the first time for Creighton. Thomas, a 6'6" freshman out of Chicago. You saw Parks checking out.
Well, what happens in a case like that, if Williams is really killing you inside, then you have to deny him the ball. Henry may have to play a half front or a full front on him in order to deny the ball coming inside. It's apparent if he lets him catch it deep in there that he's in trouble.
Mike Williams is a 69% free throw shooter. Now with 5 points on the evening. Kind of interesting that Wichita State is actually seeing Mike Williams for the second time. We mentioned he played at Cincinnati. That's where he began his college career. As a freshman, you can remember back to the 1981 McDonald's Classic. Mike Williams, as a freshman, started against Wichita State at Levitt Arena, scored 24 points in the ballgame. Now the Shocks have to deal with him again. Bradley on the break. Boise Winters will back it out.
That wisely held up. Wichita did a great job getting back.
Just in the ball game, Jerry Thomas, and the offensive foul is on Jerry Thomas. First foul on him.
Well, that's what I like about Henry Carr. Henry Carr stayed in, took a charge, took his blow, gave his body up.
And Dick Versace getting a round of applause as he was up protesting the call as only he can. Dick Versace, a big part of the Bradley story this year that we'll talk about as the evening goes along. Henry Carr kicked it out to Michael Arline. Nice pass right back to Henry. Tough luck on this shot. Oh, that's too bad. Les quickly the other way. Ball handling to Hersey Hawkins. Hawkins has yet to score. The Shocks have done a good job on him early, but here's Jim Les missing.
No block out. Arbery Sherrod didn't block Hawkins out. That happens with a guard many times. You don't think a guard is going to the board. You relax a little bit, and all of a sudden it costs 2 points.
We saw Aubrey earlier go to the offensive glass, so there was Hersey Hawkins returning the favor for his first 2 points of the night. The defense collapsing all over Sherrod, and the foul on Jerry Thomas, quickly his second.
Well, let's see if it's a shooting foul. Arbery tried to draw it. Let's see if he did. No.
Bradley has now committed 5 team fouls. The Shockers only 2 so far. So it'll be an inbounds play on the non-shooting foul. Now,
Ron Spindler overruled and decided that it was a shooting foul.
And that draws, of course, a reaction from 7th-year Bradley coach Dick Versace. But the decision is that Aubrey Sherrod will shoot 2 free throws. So here he is, Aubrey at 84%.
Well, credit Arbery. Arbery drew that. He saw them lead their feet, and he just went into them with the ball. Saw the defense lead their feet.
Aubrey now with 3 points on this evening and make it 4. And the Shockers now within a point. 13-12 is the Bradley lead with 13.5 minutes still to play here in the first half. A quick reminder, we'll be selecting our Big Cheese Pizza player of the game later on in the second half as Jimmy Les comes right at us here. The foul is on Henry Carr, his second foul.
Williams is playing in the high post, and they're using him as a screener, and when he comes off, when Les comes off the screen, Henry's double teaming him. Was a little over anxious, a little out of balance. Gene Smithen has switched and put Gus Santos on Winters.
The ball down low, very physical inside, and Henry Carr, a nice job to get that defensive rebound. McDaniel turns. Henry, the follow, no good.
Henry remember what we said about pause for poise. Take your time in there. Henry is hurrying a little bit inside. He just take his time, have a little better touch.
Oh, they're letting him play down low. I'm here to tell you. They rule it went off Xavier McDaniel's head accidentally, so it'll be Bradley ball.
Wichita State playing man for man on the out-of-bounds play.
Jim Less setting his teammates, gets it into Hersey Hawkins, who found Jerry Thomas down low. Oh, he's having a devil of a time hanging on the ball. He still is. And Aubrey Sherrod, boy,
it's a very aggressive game.
Persistence paid off. But they are going to let him play tonight. Santos kind of telegraphed that pass.
Needed to improve his angle with the dribble and drop it in low to Xavier.
Less, nobody picked him up, and that's a goaltend on Xavier McDaniel. Give the 2 points to Jim Less. He now has 4 on the evening.
Mike Orline didn't get back and didn't get squared away. He could have taken a charge with that maneuver by Less.
And a fresh face in the ball game for the Bradley Braves. For the first time, here's Donald Powell, a 6'8 freshman out of Nowata, Oklahoma. That's Bradley assistant Tony Barone, just reassuming his crouch along the Bradley bench. Mentioning all these freshmen for Bradley. Of their 13 players, 8 are freshmen. That's a foul on Jim Less. He didn't buy it, but first foul on him anyway.
Well, Mike Orline's growing as a player. Earlier in the year, he would dribble into the double team and pick up his dribble. Now he's backing his dribble up.
First time, Carl Papke for Wichita State, and you saw him inbounding there to Mike Orline. Henry Carr out of the ball game right now, but there's Santos down low. Tough luck on the shot as it bounced around but wouldn't go. Carl Papke.
Great job by Carl Papke. Found a seam in the zone, went right to the board, picked it up. Henry Carr out of the game, and I suspect that'll put Xavier McDaniel on foul down low.
And that's exactly what we're seeing. There, the pass went down low to Boise Winters as he was able to post up and miss the shot.
By Xavier McDaniel.
Aubrey, good catch and shoot player,
Great
demonstrates
job.
It there. 6 points for the senior out of Wichita.
If he can get his feet down and go straight up on the shot in the open court, he can shoot it with anyone.
Shocks lead it now, 16-15 with 11:05 still to play here in the first half. Less had a notion.
Mike Orline did a good job. Remember, don't leave your feet till the offensive player leaves his feet. And Mike Orline stayed down, didn't take the ball fake. Xavier done a good job of fronting inside.
Boise Winters, this time he nailed it. 6 points for this senior out of Chicago, Illinois. Boise, of course, knows a thing or two about putting the ball in the basket. As a high school senior, he led the nation's high school players in scoring, averaging 40 points a game. Aubrey, no good. Kind of out of control on that shot. And a rebound for Donald Powell. Less quickly ahead to Jerry Thomas. Little contact there, but no call. McDaniel poked in the eye. And it's an official timeout as that poke in the eye must have dislodged the contact lens.
Here comes Clint Normore, substitute for Mike Orline. Give him a little bit of a rest. Mike Orline did a good job.
He really has.
Played well on defense against Jim Less, who's an excellent point guard.
Trainer Doug Vandersea was trying to come out on the floor as he usually does.
Reversing it to the weak side down low, and they're going to pick up good shots to continue to do that. So
McDaniel is back to 20/20 vision, and we're back to basketball. Normore, Carl Papke looks inside for McDaniel.
Well, I'm glad that dropped. Xavier is having a little trouble. Has had good shots in the ball game. Sometimes you have to rim one around and go in to get that old confidence flowing.
You know, we talked about Boise Winters averaging 26 points over the last 6 games. McDaniel is averaging 30 points a game over the last 4 for Wichita State. Now Boise, well, a lot of contact once again, and this time they call the foul. It's either on Sherrod or McDaniel.
Aubrey was reaching in from behind Boise Winters, but I'm not sure they call it on him. Let's take a look.
Foul is on Aubrey, his first. And team foul number 4 on the Shockers, but a shooting foul puts Boise Winners to the line. And you can see our replays are back. We were having a bit of a technical problem early, but now the replays are back with us. At the line, Boise Winners. That's 7 points for him.
Well, it's all even after almost 11 minutes of the ball game. It's a very fast-paced game, very aggressive game. Officials are letting it go.
Winners leads the Braves in scoring, averaging just over 20 points a game. He has 8 already tonight. Ted mentioned the officials, a good crew working tonight. Ron Spittler, Rich Eichhorst, and Bill Summers. Bill Pee Wee Summers. The men in the stripes tonight from the Missouri Valley Conference. They go for the alley-oop. Nice anticipation by Williams. McDaniel there to claim the offensive glass. He was hacked. It's on Mike Williams.
Or credit Carl Papke with keeping the ball alive, and then Xavier McDaniel took full advantage of it. Gave him a ball fake, let them go for the ball, and then took it right up. It was
second foul on Williams, Ted. Here it is.
All right, watch Xavier. Give him a ball fake, get him off his feet, now take it right to him. That's the way to draw a foul.
And as you look at Mike Williams, Xavier McDaniel setting himself at the line. X looking for only his 5th point. A 60% free throw shooter this season. Couldn't get that one to go. McDaniel, of course, Wichita State's leading scorer and rebounder. X averaging 24 points and just a shade under 14 rebounds a game. Got the second one down. 5 points for McDaniel. And we're all even again, 19-19.
Well, let's see if Xavier, if he fronts Williams down low. I don't believe he can sit behind him. I don't think he can afford to do that.
Boise Winners and Jim Les communicating there, trying to get something straight between them. Here's Hersey Hawkins. Passed it up. Shocks double team on Boise. That pass somehow got through to Hersey Hawkins, although he was not the intended receiver. And a rebound for McDaniel. The Shocker coaches, Ted, before the game felt the 2 players they had to stop were Winners and Hawkins.
Except for the time that Arbery failed to block out, he's done a great job on Hawkins.
Tough luck on that shot, though, as Jimmy Les, the bounce pass ahead to Hersey Hawkins. They dump it down low to Mike Williams, and X really didn't have much choice. 7 points for Williams.
The problem is where he's catching the ball. You're going to have to front him down low. You just can't let him catch it 6 feet in the basket. He's too good down low.
Absolutely. That's precisely the point. You let him, you allow that pass in that position to Mike Williams, then you've got problems. At that point, he has just won the battle. But here's McDaniel turning and missing.
Faded slightly on that, and that's why he shot the ball short.
Les popped open from 15 feet. Just too good a shooter. He's got 6 points.
Big possession here. Clint Normore is looking too much to the guard over here and throwing it deep. What you have to do when they spread their defense, you have to push them back to the end line. And if you're just throwing a guard pass, you can't do that. Get in the middle or get it deep.
Henry Carr and Mike Arnold.
Years ago when Wichita and Bradley and Cincinnati and Houston, Louisville, a lot of great teams in this conference.
Jimmy Les over the top to Derek Parks, who's back in the ball game, and a little rusty. Mishandled that pass. Mike Williams, triple teamed, dribbled the ball off his foot, and the Shocks will try to take advantage of the turnover. Aubrey, ball fake, and an air ball.
Leaning a little too much in this shot. Cannot let that little guy get going. Or that one.
Hersey Hawkins, left open for one of the few times tonight, makes the Shockers pay. Only 4 points for Hawkins. He averages 16 points a game as a freshman in this Bradley lineup.
Going to have to get the ball deep. Get it to the end line.
Our line of Henry Carr, who went strong to the hole and traveled before letting go of the shot. Nice move, though, by Henry. He's just got to watch his feet as you look at Dick Versace. Now in his 7th year here at Bradley, and Ted, some say his final year.
Well, you hear all kinds of speculation. He's been a very controversial figure, but he's had a lot of success.
Boise Winners. And the Shockers able to keep it alive. McDaniel and Sherrod playing some catch.
Just great basketball.
7 points, Xavier McDaniel, but boy, the two seniors really hooking up there.
They have a wonderful feel for one another on open court situations.
Well, they've both been starters since their freshman seasons. That comes with experience, right? Right what you saw there. Les open from 17. Les has really been hot from the field of late. From the line, he's even better. He's shooting 90% from the line.
Well, Bradley had just a little crossing situation out front, and the defense was hung up. They're going to have to switch on that situation.
McDaniel deep in the right corner. Gets it back out.
The way they play their zone, they'll match up with you out front. If you come out in a three-man front, well, they'll play three people out. If you have a two-man front, well, they'll drop the big guy Williams back in the middle.
The foul is on Derek Parks as he had his hands full with Xavier McDaniel and put a little too much body on him. First foul on Derek Parks. Bradley has now exceeded the team foul limit. The Shockers are in the bonus. Wichita State, on the other hand, has committed only 14 fouls to this point. At the line, Xavier McDaniel looking for his 8th point, but not before, well, we'll try to get Santos in the game here shortly, but it'll be McDaniel here first. Missing the front end of the 1-and-1. Les, great pass ahead to Hersey Hawkins. Count the bucket and a foul on Aubrey Sherrod.
Well, a tactic that coaches use sometimes when they're in zone is when you shoot the ball against their zone, they'll slip a guard out, and that's what they did with Hersey Hawkins in. And your offensive guards have to pick up on that. Beautiful pass. Aubrey would have been better off to have grabbed him. Just don't let him shoot it. Make him go to the line and shoot 2 free throws.
Santos back in the ball game for Wichita State. Cedric Coleman is in for the first time, but at the line. Here is the Chicago High School Player of the Year 1 year ago, Hersey Hawkins, now with 7 points.
Well, he's had a real positive effect on this Bradley team, as well as Mike Williams, who transferred from Cincinnati. Great pass.
Down low, and great use of the left hand by the X-Man. He's got 9 points, and the Shocks are within 7. Need to D it up now. Bradley leads at 30-23 with 5:20 to go first half. Derek Parks, tough shot as Cedric Coleman was all over him. First 2 for the sophomore out of Gary, Indiana.
Wichita State trying to trap the ball, and Bradley backed out of it, found the open man, and really caused some problems there.
And it'll be Shocker ball as Santos, I guess, was able to pull off that maneuver, trying to bounce the ball off the Bradley player.
You know, in international basketball, they won't let you do that.
I think sometimes players try to do that too often. Count that basket.
Big
oh,
play.
What a left-handed move by McDaniel, using the left hand to score his last 2 baskets. And the foul is on Boise Winters, which isn't bad either. Second foul on Boise.
That's a big play. You're trailing by 9 points. If you don't score on that possession, they have a chance to go 10 or 11 up on you. Big play. He can cut it to 6 here. And did.
Xavier McDaniel with an even dozen after kind of a slow start. Now the Shockers really pick it up in the backcourt. Derek Parks.
Did you see Les back up out of the double team? Relieved himself from the pressure. Smart little basketball player.
Hersey Hawkins. The tip no good by Parks as he went floating in, but a foul on the play on Derek Parks, I think.
He jumped over the back. He
Second.
went for the rebound aggressively and jumped right over their back. So the Wichita State players' backs. Good call.
As you look at Gene Smithson, and if you missed it first time, here's another look, Ted. Watch 41 in the white.
Jumped right over Xavier McDaniel's back. Good call. And gives Wichita State a chance to cut it back to 5 here. To 4.
Second foul on that man a moment ago, Derek Parks. Here's McDaniel again. This time hitting the front end of the 1-and-1. 13 points now for McDaniel.
Well, just about the time Wichita State looked like they were in danger of letting this game get away from them, they're right back in the ball game.
Thanks mainly to that man. 34 in the black. Xavier McDaniel now with 14 points. Les quickly ahead, and all kinds of contact there as the Shockers really collapsed on Hersey Hawkins. They get the foul on Gus Santos. Only the first foul on Gus, so he had a few to give.
Bradley's very well prepared against full court pressure and the double teaming. We didn't pick it up at the beginning, but he reached over, But Gus did really what you need to. If you're going to foul, don't let them have a possible chance of getting the ball in the basket and getting a three-point play. Make them go to the line, prove that they can shoot 2 in. Hawkins might. He's an awful good technique shooter.
Percy Hawkins now with 8 points. Listen to these shooting percentages, Ted, for a freshman. From the field, 62%. From the line, 82%. That's called finding a home in college basketball in a hurry. Missed the second one, though. McDaniel up and over the crowd.
Tremendous.
How about that?
Well, he just suspended himself in the air. He goes straight up. I continue to say this, but this guy is going to have a tremendous career. Has a great future in basketball. Great athlete, great attitude.
16 points now for Xavier McDaniel. And the contact there, I believe, is on Santos.
Well, Gus is hoping that they'd call less from moving the screen. Probably fouled the wrong man.
Second foul on Gus. Well, there you see just the tail end of it as the contact occurred.
Yeah, Gus, instead of sliding through the screen, tried to go right through it. He's contending that Les kept moving his screen.
Now all the Shockers can do is hope that statistics lie, because Jimmy Les is a 90% free throw shooter. Great technique free throw shooter. Keep an eye on this.
Has perfect hand position on the ball. Has great flip with his shooting hand. His carry hand is perfectly positioned.
Well, what I tell you, double figures for Jim Les. He averages 9.5 a game. He's already got 10.
Well, you don't shoot 90% accidentally.
Not for long, at least. Mike Arline answering from way out at the top of the key. 4 points for Michael. The confidence growing in his outside shot.
Well, Cedric Coleman did a nice job penetrating, drawing the defense.
Mike Williams.
I'm concerned about that. You just cannot sit behind him. He's too hot. He's in a good rhythm.
Williams now with 9 points. Bradley leading it by 5. 37-32 inside 4 minutes now to play.
Quick rotation of the ball, holding on to the ball. Carl's not looking to shoot, and therefore the defense is playing off of him and made that interception. Carl Pappy's going to have to look for a shot.
Right, easy steal for Mike Williams. Now Bradley down low to you-know-who. Finger roll no good. Oh, the bodies are banging down low. I'm glad I'm sitting over here. It is tough down in the paint.
You better come to play inside.
Woo. Third foul on Derek Parks.
You better dig in there with your feet.
Jerry Thomas back in the ball game for Bradley. Aubrey Sherrod back in the ball game for Wichita State. As you look at a somewhat fatigued Derek Parks checking out of the game, and I don't blame him. They are earning their scholarship money tonight. Carl Papke at the line for Wichita State. Carl only a 48% free throw shooter. Looked better than that, obviously, there. 3 points now for Carl, the 6'6 senior out of Wichita West High School. As you look at Gene Smithson along the Shocker bench.
Aubrey Sherrod waiting to come in for Carl Papke.
And Aubrey will be in the lineup for Wichita State, coming into the ball game tonight, having won their last 6 in a row, which ties the longest winning streak for Bradley ever under Dick Versace. Last time they won 6 in a row, they went on to win the NIT.
It's a very good basketball team. They're very tough, very aggressive, but I'll tell you what they have, and what you have to have if you're going to have an excellent basketball team. They have 2 outstanding backcourt players. They have the great point guard, quarterback, and Jim Les, and Hershey Hawkins is obviously going to be an excellent player.
Bradley basketball, they lead it by 3, 37-34 with only 3:12 still to play here in the first half. Hersey Hawkins ball handling, just got that pass to Les, over to a wide open Boise Winters, who dribbled inside and then passed up what I think should have been a shot. Tried to get the pass to Jerry Thomas and threw it away.
Wichita State did a beautiful job in trapping. They ran and jumped, went for the interception, but they really reinforced quickly down below, and it saved them 2 points.
14 minutes still to play down in Amarillo. Creighton leading West Texas now 46-38. That's turned into a better ball game. Shocks turn it over, and a foul on Cedric Coleman, who says, no, I didn't. And Pee Wee Summers says, yes, you did. First foul on Cedric.
What you have to do, Cedric tried to force the basketball there. Against that trap, you need to get the ball reversed. Dick Versace obviously is talking to Jim Les, giving him instructions about how he wants to handle the defense on that end of the court.
Boise winners, a real link to the past for Bradley fans. We mentioned that NIT championship team of 3 years ago. Boise is the only remaining Bradley player who was on that ball club. Played quite a bit, as a matter of fact, as a freshman, but as luck would have it, was injured right down at the end and didn't play in either ball game at Madison Square Garden when the Braves won it all. Double figures now for Boise. He's got 10.
That was year you remember that Dick Versace thought that they really were robbed in not being picked by the NCAA basketball committee.
Well, he was right, and he proved it in the NIT.
Quick reversal of the ball. A little too much dribbling. They're going to have to move the ball quickly against the zone.
Cedric got the bounce pass inside to his former high school teammate, and there's McDaniel.
Great reaction. Xavier shot on the way down to miss his first shot, but was right back after it.
If at first you don't succeed, 18 points now, Xavier McDaniel. McDaniel's had good luck against Bradley over his career. Boise, no good outside. McDaniel, a defensive board. He'll flip it to Mike Arline. Shocker ball. They can pull to within one with a bucket here. Michael.
Bad shot by Michael.
17-footer.
He went in the air looking to pass the basketball. There was no one open. You never leave your feet to make a pass. You leave it to take the shot.
The foul is on Wichita State's Xavier McDaniel. Only his first as you look at it again.
Yeah, he was looking. Mike thought that he'd go up in the air and draw the defense toward him, but you never go in the air hoping that'll happen. It might happen if you go up for the shot, but go for the shot first.
And the Shocker coaches want to talk to Mike maybe about that shot as they pull him out of the game. Clint Normore back in for Wichita State. And here's Boise winners. One in the bonus for the Bradley Braves.
Oh, no good, no good.
Holler, no good, and it was all net.
Well, I think what McDaniel was saying is...
Xavier said the man stepped over the line.
Yeah, he thought Thomas was in the lane too
a little early.
But it's good for Boise, so now he gets the bonus free throw.
Well, that was a good attempt on Xavier's part.
Pretty nice acting job. And winners with a dozen. Bradley again up with a 5-point lead. And we're inside 2 minutes to play. Be sure to stay tuned at halftime. A special interview with one of the great basketball players ever produced by the state of Illinois. Doug Collins will be our guest at halftime.
Yeah, Doug's one of those great recruiting coups. That he was 6'2" or 3", and no one thought that he was a prospect, and all of a sudden he grew to 6'6" and ended up being one of the great second guards in basketball.
Foul is on Donald Powell right there, number 24, his first personal foul.
Yeah, Bradley failed to move their feet. Cedric Coleman has gone into the ball game and played aggressively. He's given Wichita State a lift, both ends of the court.
Cedric 0 for 1, now 1 of 2 this season from the line. First point of the night for the freshman out of Columbia, South Carolina.
Well, that school can be very proud of having Cedric and the great Xavier McDaniel on their ball club.
And Coleman coming on the last few games. We didn't see much of him early. Of course, we heard a lot about him in the preseason, and lately we're finding out why. Jimmy Less.
We hear he's a tremendous worker on the practice court.
And it's bought him some playing time as Donald Powell. Nice post-up job down low, first 2 of the night for the freshman.
Well, there's not much you can do about it if you let him catch the ball 6 feet in the basket. Clint Normore, look what happens when you get the ball toward the end line. Could really make things happen.
Gus Santos mishandled, but able to get control, and, well, Xavier McDaniel applying the exclamation point. He's got 20 points here in the first half. Is Xavier McDaniel, 20 of Wichita State's 40 points. Percy Hawkins.
Had to be a travel.
Knocked off his feet, but a no call.
Had to be a travel.
And the foul on Clint Normore. And Gene Smithson says, hey.
Yeah, he didn't want to foul that guy. 90% free throw shooter.
First foul on Clint. Gene still raising a beef. He wanted the traveling call on Hawkins.
Yeah, we should have had.
Jim Less now setting himself, drying his hands on his socks, and he'll go to the line to do one of the things he does best.
If you're dribbling and leave your feet like that, if you have possession of the ball, you're dribbling and you leave your feet, it has to be a travel because you've picked up both feet. On the other hand, if it's a loose ball, you can dive after it, and it's not a travel unless you stand up with the ball.
Jim Les, now with a dozen, began his college career at Cleveland State, transferred here a year ago, and you better believe they're glad to have him. Inside a minute now, 44 seconds to be exact.
Big possession here. Psychologically going in at 3 points behind is really important, and that's what they are right now.
Looked good, was good. 8 points, Aubrey Sherrod. Now the Shocks need to D it up. They trail by 3. 30 seconds to go. Down low, Boise Winters kind of forced that shot, but Donald Powell snuck open on the weak side. He's got 4. Bradley back up by 5. 15 seconds to go first half. They try to alley-oop into McDaniel. He turned, missed it, ball loose on the floor. Hersey Hawkins, 5 seconds.
Hersey will there very much in the ball game for the duration of the ball game.
Shockers still man-to-man. Boise Winters hit a tough shot. I mean, McDaniel's hand was right in his face. And Boise was a little in your face.
They ran a baseline screen for him, and he came off. Watch this. Great concentration. Xavier was in pretty good position on it. Gus had overrun the ball a little bit, trying to get through the screen.
Second foul on X. Boise with the 3-point opportunity. They gave him the bucket, so now he'll try to make it a 3-point play. And that one really never had a chance.
Big Henry Carr up on the boards. Henry's going to have to score a little this half, I think, to give Wichita State a little bit of lift. It's hard for Xavier and Arbery to sustain that energy. Xavier hasn't been out of the ball game yet. Arbery's been out less than a minute. Need a little rebounding support, a little scoring support. Good movement, excellent movement.
Got it to the open man, and Mike Arline nailed it. 6 points for Michael Arline tonight. I'll tell you another guy. I talked to Gus Santos quite a bit at the airport the other day, and Gus just flat out said, hey, I'm getting tired of hearing about this 1-2 punch. It's time for me to step to the forefront scoring-wise. So, Gus, now's a good time as any. Let's see who they give the to.
Well, that's one of those unfortunate things that happen to you sometime.
Still no announcement. It was just kind of accidental. That one is definitely 2 for Gus Santos, and he now has 6 points.
Well, I think what you mentioned is true. Xavier McDaniel, Aubrey Sherrod's they're only going to take a team so far. It's going to have production, rebounding production, shot production, defensive production out of all the rest of the players.
Checked with the official score, and they gave that last tip into Hersey Hawkins, the nearest Bradley player to it. Gus Santos, maybe he heard me.
Maybe you had a good conversation with him, Mark.
I didn't think I was talking that loud.
He may have you talk to the squad.
8 points for Gus, and he's got Wichita State back to within 3, but as I say it, a foul on Arline. Blocking foul, his second.
Well, if we get a look at it, he might have moved on the screen a little bit, but it appears we're not going to have a chance to see it. Well, Wichita State fighting to get right back in this ball game. It was hard to tell. Probably Arbery had as much of an assist as anybody. Great defense by Xavier and a foul.
Tim, that is foul number 4 on Derek Parks. So now decision time, and a quick decision as Dick Versace gets Jerry Thomas right back in the ball game. Parks, a big physical 6'7" sophomore, really hasn't been that much of a factor.
Bradley zoning the out-of-bounds play, and they've been in zone throughout the night.
Gus looking for a friendly
5
face.
seconds. Very fortunate.
Oh, they were. That was a little bit of a desperation pass.
Bradley playing the passing lanes very well. I believe we'll see X going to the corner. Nope.
Well, they tried to pick less to get Aubrey open. Aubrey had to retreat to receive the pass.
Good movement by Wichita State, finding the open man, getting Aubrey on the wings. They've done a good job of denying Aubrey the ball in the zone.
McDaniel, that's money in the bank.
Wichita State has really come to play in the second half. whatever happened in the last ball game certainly is not true tonight because they're ready.
Shockers within one. The Bradley lead has been whittled down to 51-50.
Backdoor.
And side door for Boise Winters right there on the follow. He's got 16.
Well, players many times.
Oh, McDaniel, great job to hang in the air. Tried to draw the foul, but couldn't buy one. Less quickly the other way for Bradley. Boise open left baseline. Jerry Thomas. Oh, the foul's on Gus. Oh, well, we'll take a look at this one again, I hope.
Thomas might have restored his back.
Their arms kind of got tangled. Third foul on Gus. Here it is.
Gus actually, he did not move to the ball very well, or he'd have had him positioned out. Do you see that? He did reach over Gus's back, and I believe that it was a bad call.
Nevertheless, Bradley ball. Less inbounding to Hersey Hawkins.
Wichita State had the momentum sliding in their direction, and now there's the travel. Picked up. Gene Smithson and I agreed on the call. Unfortunately, the officials didn't agree.
Yeah, the only problem is you guys aren't wearing striped shirts.
That's right. I tried to help them for 20 years, and they never allowed me to help in any way.
That foul again on Gus Santos. So Gus knocked down a couple of shots, but unfortunately also picked up 2 quick fouls here. So he's out of the game with those 4 fouls for the time being, and Carl Papke back in.
Well, this one a senior has to produce right here.
Shockers really D'ing it up on Les. He's been handling it well, though, for the most part.
Well, he's a smart and experienced little guard.
Boise Winters threw it away.
Credit Xavier McDaniel's defensive pressure.
That's the backcourt violation. Shocker ball.
Xavier was applying really good pressure.
That is quite a matchup. McDaniel and Boise Winters, 2 of the really fine players in the Missouri Valley, head-to-head tonight. The timeout comes with 16:40 to play in the ball game. Bradley led it by 5 at the half. They lead it by 3 right now. Back in a minute. Coach, 2 have won 2 Valley titles. Down on the other end with the white hair, Dick Versace, the only Bradley coach, 2 have won 2 Valley titles.
Well, they have a lot of respect for Wichita State here. I talked to Ron Ferguson, the athletic director, and he feels that aside from Illinois State, this is the biggest game for Bradley in the conference race.
Mike Arline now with 8 points. That really gives the Shocker offense a new dimension. Shocker coach is trying to bring the footwork of Boise Winters to the attention of the officials. We'll see if that pays off down the road.
Wichita State did a great job recovering from their full court pressure. It's a bad shot by Les, one of the infrequent bad shots that he'll take.
First bad shot he's taken tonight. Aubrey.
Boy, he had that feeling. You could see it all the way up the court. He wanted to piece that ball.
Double figures now for Aubrey. He's got 10 points, and the Shocks edging front, and it'll be Shocker ball.
Boy, Henry Carr playing tremendously on defense.
Dick Versace kind of working.
Get him off of him.
Yep. Both coaches kind of working the refs.
Great pass by Aubrey Sherrod. Great move by Xavier.
Stripped of the ball. Plenty of contact, but as we saw in the first half, they're going to let him play.
Okay, Mike Arline getting them set up. Didn't like what he saw.
And that's a foul in anybody's book. 3rd foul on Jerry Thomas.
Only the 2nd foul on Bradley. They're not in any serious trouble. Wichita State's picked up 14 fouls already in the 2nd half, and that's not good news.
Aubrey, heck of a ball
straight
fake.
Straight up.
Leaned in just a bit, and the rebound battle won by Boise Winters, and a battle it was. Jerry Thomas, that's the 2nd time tonight he's kind of broad jumped and missed the jam, and they get him for the offensive foul. And it's a good call. 4th foul on Jerry Thomas, and now Dick Versace has some real problems.
Mike Arline really hustled back. They made the long pass. Let's watch Mike Arline. Aubrey went for the ball and missed. Let's see if Mike Arline, in fact, did have his feet down. He left his feet. Did he have position? I believe that he did. I think it was a good call.
I think so, too. And Jerry Thomas, that's the second time tonight he's done that. Ball loose.
Mike Orline didn't have his feet shifted. A right-handed shooter needs to have his right foot slightly in front. He had his left foot slightly in front on that shot.
You know what? Jerry Thomas has just fouled out of this basketball game with 14:56 still to play. Now this forces Dick Versace to go a little deeper on the bench. In for the first time is Bruce Mordini, the 6'7" sophomore from Highland Park, Illinois. But normally we would have seen Derek Parks back in, but he also has 4 fouls. So the fouls becoming a factor on the front line.
Excellent
for Bradley.
movement. Arbery Sherrod has a feel for where Xavier is going to be, and they should. They've played with each other for a long time.
X now with 24 points. Boise Winters working hard down low.
Xavier didn't block out. Became a spectator for just a moment.
The foul on Carl Papke, I do believe, will be his first. And well, now the official checking the number. Yeah, he got it right the second time. It is on Carl.
Well, he just reached in, wasn't in very good position. You know, the most important thing about rebounding is to move your feet. People want to jump and reach for the ball instead of moving their feet. You always rebound a ball in front of your face, and that will happen if you've moved your feet in position.
Big Mike Williams stripped of the ball by Carl Papke.
Well, you know, again, your problem, you cannot let him catch it that low. Can't sit behind him that low.
The foul on Arbery Sherrod, trying to pick the pocket, his third.
Well, Henry moved over from behind. They're trying to support from the front and picked up the foul. And Wichita State's getting in bad team foul position in this ball game.
They go for the alley-oop to Boise Winters.
Great pass by Jim Leff.
18 points, Boise Winters, and that's got the crowd all fired up here in Peoria. Now the Shocks need to...
They're in their trapping defense. Good poise by Carl.
Henry Carr did not look to pass into his hands. Hersey Hawkins ahead to Jim Less.
Great hustle.
Mike Williams missed the follow, but was fouled on the play by Carl Papke, I believe. He'll go to the line for 2.
Henry Carr made a mistake on one end, but didn't let it bother him. He sprinted down the court, kept him from having... Watch Henry hustle back after losing the ball. Bradley very alertly, though, rebounded, and that was a foul definitely on Xavier McDaniel.
No, Carl Papke is who they got it on.
Is that right?
Yeah, second foul on Carl.
What would that have been on Xavier? Because I thought Xavier reached in.
Would have been his third, but instead it's the second on Carl. And at the line, Mike Williams.
Well, it's tied up again.
10 points for Mike Williams. 56-56 the score with 13:53 to go. A final from Amarillo. Creighton a winner on the road, 68-61 over West Texas.
West Texas State obviously a much better team at home.
But not good enough tonight. Mike Williams, 11 points, and the crowd, who'd been pretty quiet for most of the first half, boy, they are really making a ruckus.
Need to get the ball to the end line, get the defense back.
Cedric Coleman driving the baseline, dribble it out of bounds. Bradley ball.
You don't want to dribble. You dribble right into the heart of the zone. Not a very good place to have the ball against the zone on the baseline.
You know, Ted Bradley only leads this ball game by a point, 57-56. The Shockers just have to keep their heads.
5 seconds.
5-second call. Good job by Cedric Coleman.
Wichita is a very determined team tonight. They know if they could pick up at least one victory on this road trip, it would place them in excellent position in the conference race. This probably is the toughest road trip of all during the course of the year. 2 excellent teams, Bradley and Illinois State.
Back to back.
Notice that they shift from a 1-2-2 to a 2-1-2 based on how many people are out front. Great pass and a great move inside.
Count the bucket and a foul on the play. You want to talk about a guy hanging in the air trying to draw the foul.
I talk about this a lot, but look at the low pass. Cedric Coleman made a great pass, and what a move by Xavier McDaniel.
26 points for the X-Man. He'll try to make it 27 right here.
He's amazing. You go I'm going along thinking he has 13 or 14 points. He has 26 points. Ooh, big miss here.
Boise winners. The rebound for the Bradley Braves. Jimmy Less safely across the timeline. Bradley ball. They trail 58-57. Boise hung in the air, and McDaniel forced him to pass it up. Out of bounds to Bradley.
Could have called a charge. Xavier McDaniel had excellent position. This is really a spirited ball game. Both coaches very much alive. Both teams very much alive.
Look at McDaniel right on Boise. He's 40 feet in the basket.
Wichita State.
Now they're right on left.
He stepped across the half-court line.
No call, though. Hersey Hawkins. Mordini kicked it out.
Wichita State with their trap.
Mike Williams turning. The tip no good.
Out. Too many spectators.
Henry Carr. Nice outlet pass to McDaniel. 3-on-1 opportunity. Our line left baseline. Oh, just
great
short
play
of the
by
shot.
McDaniel.
Stripped, and he'll go to the line. The foul on Hawkins.
Mike Orline didn't leave himself an angle to shoot it on the board. You think he's only 9 feet in the basket, but that is a tough shot. Great reaction by Xavier McDaniel. Needs to can these two.
Second foul on that man, Hersey Hawkins, the freshman out of Chicago.
Well, remember in the first half, Wichita State shot 10 for 12 from the free throw line, 83%. And this could win the ball game for them if they'll be red hot down the stretch here.
Jim Less now pointing out a slick spot in the backcourt. And now they got one of the ball boys out on the floor with the towel to kind of dry the area. A good thing to do. That's just for the protection of everybody. And now we'll get McDaniel at the line, looking for his 27th point. Fouled in the act of shooting. He's got a pair.
Good flip. Ooh. Had good flip. Thought his technique was pretty good, but he didn't get it in.
Two big misses.
Had a chance to go ahead there.
Well, extend the lead. Mordini, not a great shooter. Missing there from the right baseline. Nice pass ahead to Mike Carline. Short again on the shot. McDaniel very active, and the foul is on Mordini. His first.
He has a smell for where that ball is going to come down. He just has a marvelous feel for that.
In between all the white shirts.
And he gives the kind of effort necessary to get to the ball. Marvelously conditioned athlete. Need these. I'm fearful if we have two misses here, the old psychology starts to work against you.
You see Donald Powell checking into the game for Bradley, 24, replacing Mordini.
Well, they haven't coming back. I think that Versailles saying, got to come back. This ball game's into balance right now. No reason to save them on the bench, even though they have 4 fouls. That could have turned it around here. 2-point lead. Big free throw here. Flipped it in. Good.
Much better that time. 28 points. Xavier McDaniel, and the Shockers lead it by 3. 60-57, and a steal for McDaniel. Ahead to Mike Carline.
Credit Mike Carline and Henry Carr's trap. They're really putting intense heat, even on a fine ball handler like Les. It's good to have a safety like Xavier McDaniel who can react that well.
McDaniel, 15-footer, he nailed it.
He's on a roll.
McDaniel averaging 30 points a game over the last 4 games, has got 30 tonight.
Dick Versailles wants to talk it over.
I don't blame him. The action, as we do on all Shocker Road telecasts. Oh, they're really pressuring on defense.
Yeah, they're very much alive, and they're forcing Bradley to play the way they don't want to play. You can have a 3-on-2 on your opponent, but if you don't have your skilled basketball players with the ball, it doesn't help very much. Can't sit behind Mike Williams. Just cannot sit behind him.
13 points for Mike Williams, 6'8", 255 pounds.
See, they have 4 men committed up in the zone. You're going to have to get it deep in the zone.
Shockers had men down on the baseline like Henry Carr. Cedric Coleman, the drive.
Nice job by
Super
Cedric
move.
Coleman. Penetrated, held up, went straight up for his shot. Under control all the way.
4 points now for Cedric. He had some big buckets in the KU game. Less risky pass, but it found Donald Powell.
Wichita doing a great job recovering from their full court pressure. Oh, big miss.
Donald Powell went for the added oomph and lost it. Now they go for the alley-oop, and it just goes harmlessly off the backboard. Now the Shockers quickly
Great
hit
pass.
Aubrey. Oh, tough break. That'd have been a nice two.
Bradley right back at them.
Oh, it's turning into a track meet, and Boise Winners shows Aubrey Sherrod how it should be done. 20 points, Boise.
Yeah, he just slid right under the basket, brought it back in.
Aubrey now across the timeline.
Have to get it to the end line. Good job. Great pass and a foul.
The ball was partially blocked. The shot was, but a foul on the play, as Ted said, on Bradley.
I'll tell you how fast-paced the game is. I've never noticed Xavier McDaniel breathing hard. He's so superbly conditioned, and even Xavier is breathing heavily right now. Al McGuire has the saying, if you see them with their hands on their pants, that they're tired. Xavier, for just a minute, had his arms at his waist, or his hands at his waist.
The foul on Donald Powell was his second. McDaniel fouled in the act of shooting with 2 shots.
Nice touch. Here comes Gus Santos back in the ball game.
Now remember, well, I believe he'll be going in after this free throw, but Santos rather, when he goes in, will be playing with 4 fouls. But now McDaniel got them both. 32 points.
Gene Smithson, I'm sure, is going to give Xavier a very short rest.
But he may have noticed the exact thing you picked up, Ted. Got to give McDaniel the breather now, because you're sure going to need him down the stretch.
Well, a superbly conditioned athlete recovers pretty fast.
Good hands. Aubrey Sherrod broke up the pass.
Wichita State so alive on defense, pressuring Bradley into a multitude of errors.
Now they've got to make him pay for it, though. Great pass inside to Henry. Traveled. Oh, my goodness.
I think sometimes when an official sees a loose ball, they're not certain of what to call. The old travel call's a good one to make.
Ted, it's timeout. 9:43 to play in the game. Shocks still lead it, 66-61. Back in a minute. Here on the road, 66-63. Ted checking the turnover situation in the second half. Bradley, 7, only 3 for Wichita State.
Wichita State's played very well mechanically throughout the game, and it's their intense pressure on Bradley that's caused turnovers. They've given up a few baskets as a result of their pressure, but certainly the turnovers have more than compensated for that.
Dick Versace has Derek Parks back in the ball game. Remember, Parks playing with 4 fouls. He's matched up on McDaniel now.
Xavier.
And
Jim Les applying intense pressure on Mike Arline, and Pee Wee picked it up and came in and made the call.
And Dick Versace saying, hey, the way they've been playing tonight, how can you call that? Second foul on Les. Versace, one of the really colorful figures, not only in the Valley, but in college basketball. One of the reasons why it's fun to do a game here. It's always, never lack of action here.
Oh, it's a very enthusiastic crowd, and really a very nice arena. I like this arena. There's not too many bad seats. The end seats are a little too far off the court, but that's because it's an ice hockey rink in addition.
Mike Arline, good offensive night. 9 points, and he'll stay at 9 points. But that's a big plus for the Shocker offense. 8.5 minutes to go. Shocks lead it by 4. 67-63 our score. Boise Winners, he's been kind of quiet lately.
Well, I'll tell you one reason.
Percy Hawkins just rolled off. The tip, though, is good for Mike Williams.
Credit Mike Williams with a great effort. Xavier had inside position, and Mike Williams just outhorsed everyone.
Now Bradley edging back. The Shocker lead has been whittled down to 2. That gets the crowd back going.
Bradley switched to man-for-man defense first time in the ball game. Gene Smith said, let's get moving. Great pass by Mike Arline. Excellent pass.
Looped it into Gus Santos, who banked it nicely off the glass. 10 points for Gus.
Now, what was it you told Gus at the airport?
I'm going to have to remember. Actually, it was what he told me. We were just kind of sitting there talking. And he said, you know, I'm getting tired of hearing about that 1-2 punch. It's about time I got going. Les fouled by Gus, and that's 5 on Gus. Santos fouling out of the game with 7:33 to go. We'll probably see Carl Papke.
That's encouraging, though.
No, it's going to be Henry
Santos. Encouraging to see Gus Santos playing the way that he is. He really did give Wichita State a great lift.
Henry Carr back in the ball game, replacing Gus. Boy, both times, just when Gus got going offensively, he picked up the foul. This time, it's going to cost him the rest of the game as he fouls out. But back live, Jimmy Les, to make it even worse, at the line. Has not scored in the second half, although he just took care of that. 13 points for Les.
I wanted to mention about Boise Winters. As the game gets going and you start to tire a little bit, you should shorten the distance of your shot. He's increased the distance of his shot, and as a result has not shot the ball particularly well. Always short on his shot. Jim Les putting pressure. Alertly, Xavier McDaniel comes down, gives an outlet.
Back to Aubrey, now our line, and Sherrod just waves him across the timeline.
Well, Wichita State, Gene's telling him, really get the ball moving, get themselves moving.
Aubrey Sherrod quiets the crowd. He's got a dozen.
Bradley's been basically his own team. I think they'll have a tough time guarding Wichita State man for man. Wichita State will just move them.
Shocks again, lead it by 4, 7:07 to go.
Xavier catching himself behind Williams again. Not do it.
Count the bucket. And a foul on the play. It's on Henry Carr, his third. Mike Williams now with 19 points. Will try to make it 20 as you look at it again.
Well, again, caught sitting behind the big guy. The big guy's just too good in there. He just powers it to the basket. When someone's on a roll like he is, what is that? When someone is on the roll, you just have to deny him the ball. That's the only chance you have.
Shock's got a break there. That free throw was halfway down and came out. Cedric Coleman ball fake out to our line.
Okay, now good movement of the ball, good movement of your bodies right now. Need to get the defense stirred up.
Hersey Hawkins anticipating the pass. Missed the layup.
A huge miss. Boy, that would have tied the ball game. Gene Smithson hollering motion. He wants to get movement out of his offense, and if they do, they will score, and did. Bradley can't handle Xavier inside.
Oh, is he having a night? 34 points.
Great pass, too, by Mike Orline.
McDaniel's career high is 35.
Good. Xavier fronted the big guy.
He's closing in on that.
Now he's caught behind. He's a big horse to get around.
Boy, when he makes up his mind to go to the hole, I mean, he is just a hoss. Foul on Henry is his fourth.
Well, you're going to have to play him in a dead front and hope you get support from behind. He just took it right in. Henry Carr and Xavier McDaniels are big, strong guys, but Williams just powered the ball right in.
2 shots for Mike Williams, looking for his 20th point right here. Earlier in the first half, we talked about Wichita State seeing Williams as a freshman playing for the University of Cincinnati in the McDonald's Classic. Bradley has also seen Williams before. That same season, Cincinnati and Bradley played a 7 overtime game. Remember that? It's still an NCAA record. And Williams played most of that game for Cincinnati. Got the second one. He's got 20 points. Does Mike Williams. And the Shocker lead down to 3. 73-70 is the score. 6 minutes to go.
Bradley with full court pressure, and Gene wants a timeout.
Back to basketball, Shocker ball. Inside 6 minutes now. Shocks lead by 3. Pass down low to Henry Carr. Henry still with the ball. And Les, that's off Mike Arline Bradley ball.
Well, that was a great play by Jim Les. Just a marvelous defensive play. Played tremendous defensive pressure. Went for the loose ball and banked it right off of Mike Arline's thigh.
Carl Papke back in the ball game, replacing Henry Carr. Gene trying to get maybe a little bit more ability.
Well, and there's something else he's thinking.
And now Arline. Little forearm there into Derek Parks. I don't think Mike Arline wants too much of Derek Parks.
Well, they're center fielding with Orbish-Rod. They're playing a safety there, and they're going to pressure the ball.
McDaniel is he had a hand on Parks, and the official caught that. X, though, a nice job to step in and protect his teammate.
Wichita State did a great job. This is the best this year they've done in recovering on defense when the ball's been past them.
Well, it's Valley time, and that's what it's all about for the Wichita State Shockers. No more non-conference. Less.
Well, I'm sure Gene Smithson's relieved with that shot because that was not a good shot by Les.
The ball squirted out, and Derek Parks picked it up. Percy Hawkins.
Great.
Oh, and a block by McDaniel.
Tremendous play. One of the reasons Henry Carr came out of the game, I'm sure Gene thought in this ball game they're going to be fouling Henry. Henry has not shot the ball well from the free throw line. Jim Les just playing terrific defense, denying Mike Arline the ball.
Aubrey walks. Not much. A close call, but a big turnover. Inside 5 minutes.
Well, they had the right idea. They're going inside to Xavier McDaniel. They just cannot handle him inside.
Arline giving Les plenty of room.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do with Jim Les right now, both teams in a 1-and-1, you don't want to put him at the free throw line.
Ooh, Arline almost had that pass. Les open. Hit it that time. 16 points, Jimmy Les. Big two. It's got Bradley within one. 73-72, the Shocker lead. 4.5 to play. Oh, what a ball game.
Well, Jim Les is a heck of a basketball player. Have to get the ball into Xavier, or he could do a number on him inside.
There it is. Xavier McDaniel, a new career high, 36 points.
Wichita State easing their pressure just a little bit. I think they're going to try to support inside a little bit more on big Mike Williams.
The bounce pass inside to Williams. That maybe should have been an offensive foul.
Well, that was a good foul there. You don't want to let him get the ball in. Going to foul hard.
Foul on Aubrey, Ted, is his fourth.
Orbish-Rod has played an excellent basketball game tonight. He had to come in, had to deny him the shot there. Didn't want to give up the three-point play.
Mike Williams at the line, shooting two, fouled in the act, looking for his 21st point. I mentioned the 36 points for McDaniel, a new career high for X. That is also a new arena scoring record here at the Peoria Civic Center Arena. Of course, only the third year it's been open, but quite an accomplishment as well.
He just gets them in so many ways. That's a big miss in this ball game. At the very worst, if you miss, Bradley comes down with the tie.
Carl Papke knocking Les down, no call. What a tip for McDaniel.
38 points.
I'm going to have to make my score sheet a little bigger for that guy.
This is a terrific basketball game. Wichita State has just played tremendously well.
Shockers again by 4. Les,
a little out of his range.
Big rebound, Cedric Coleman.
Ooh,
oh, an outlet pass. He tried to go for the home run ball and then took it away. That's the way to recover. Oh, that's a freshman keeping his cool in a tough situation.
It's going to be into X when they have an opportunity. Just keep moving the ball till you get it into Xavier McDaniel. The big guy can't handle Xavier. It's too quick for him inside, and he's all over him.
Contact down low. It's on Derek Parks. He fouls out of the game. He's gone with 3 minutes still to play, indicating to official Ron Spittler that he wasn't the only one initiating contact, but he'll lose the argument. That's it for Derek Parks.
Well, Xavier really spread out inside.
Vic Versace, he's got 30 seconds here. And looks like he's going to take it as he and assistant Tony Baroni, the brain trust over there along the Bradley bench, talking this one over.
You know, one of the best rules they've passed in a long time is instead of a minute to get a substitution in, they have 30 seconds now. It was just too much delay by giving him a full minute. A coach can make up his mind a shorter period of time than that.
Donald Powell in the ball game. as Dick Versace used most of that 30 seconds. One of the bonus for Xavier McDaniel. Well, he's got 38 points, but on the other hand, he's missed a couple of key free throws tonight. Let's hope it doesn't come back to haunt him in Wichita State. Boise Winters knocked it down. 22 points, Boise Winters. And the Shocker lead is again whittled down to a mere bucket, 77-75.
Well, it's been a great college ball game. Free throws could play a real important factor.
Cedric Coleman drove inside. It was blocked by Powell. Here's Hersey Hawkins.
Well, you get in a situation like that, you need to possess that ball until you get it in your horse's hand. Here comes Big
Nice
X.
defensive job. And the
Great
foul
pass.
is on Hawkins. Third foul on him. And you hear the reaction of the crowd here.
X is asking for 2, but it'll be a 1-and-1. Nice. Let's take a look. Did he reach in? Did he foul? Well, he reached across the body. I believe he did get a piece of Xavier McDaniel. Rarely ever does a player feel he fouled.
I noticed that. One of the bonus, Xavier McDaniel.
He nailed that one. That's a big, big free throw.
Well, that'll make it 39 points.
Free throw here takes 2 field goals to tie the ball game. So it gives you a little bit of control.
That's 40.
Big defensive possession right here. Wichita State continue to play in their aggressive man-for-man defense.
Hersey Hawkins hasn't been heard from lately. Winters a nice offensive rebound.
No block out. It's a 2-point game.
Winters now with 24 points.
You have to move it. You have to move it till you get X inside.
Right, inside 2 minutes, 1:45 and counting.
Or that. That was a good shot.
Yep.
Excellent shot.
Good rebound, Donald Powell. Now a big possession for Bradley. They can tie with a bucket here. 1:30 to go.
Well, it'd be great for Wichita State if it took them nearly all of 45 seconds to get a shot, then they'd have control of the ball at the last.
Donald Powell missed the follow. And, of course, Boise Winter missing the first shot. The foul is on Carl Papke. Third foul on Carl will send Powell to the line, a 70% free throw shooter. But he is a freshman.
That's a big burden for a freshman to carry here. All right, let's take a look. Shot went up. Carl didn't quite move. He just didn't move his feet quite enough.
2 shots. Well, I'll tell you, a year ago, this guy was playing in Nowata, Oklahoma. So,
well, what you have to do here is be sure you block out. If they miss it, be sure they don't get the rebound.
missed them both. Although Powell did get the rebound eventually. Hersey Hawkins, right wing, 1:15 to go. Shockers still lead it by 2, 79-77. Hersey Hawkins,
Freshman candid.
a dozen for the freshman out of Chicago. We're tied at 79, 1 minute to go.
Well, Wichita State, with the 45-second clock, is going to have to shoot the ball. They just have to get Xavier involved here.
Gene Smithson wants a timeout. We'll take it. And don't touch that dial. 52 seconds left. We're tied at 70. We're tied at 79. We've had a discussion here the last 30 seconds or so at the scorer's table concerning the 45-second clock, which right now reads 45 seconds.
Mark, there should be 34 seconds on the clock. I believe they gained possession with 1 minute and 3 seconds left, and the timeout should have had nothing to do with putting 45 seconds back on.
Now, official Ron Spindler is saying run 7 seconds off, so I think they've decided on 38. That's what it is.
Right there.
38, you can hear Spindler in the background right there. So,
well, in either case, it's not going to be a factor because
now that's the Bradley huddle.
I'm on it.
This discussion here at the scorer's table has extended this timeout also, as you can see. Checking the field goal shooting. Wichita State 15 of 25 in the second half. Bradley only 13 of 31.
I think there actually should have been 34 seconds put on the clock, but it isn't going to be a factor. With 52 seconds to go, you're going to have to shoot it and not play for the last shot.
Either way, a shot must be taken. It's going to be Shocker ball if and when we get back to basketball, and we most assuredly will.
Well, the first thing you think about in a situation like this, being darn sure you get the ball inbounded safely. Now, don't be surprised if Bradley doesn't change defensive tactics. No, they're going to stay with man for man, it would appear.
Stay tuned for Cape News following the game. Here we go. 52 seconds. Inbounding to Arline.
Jim Les putting terrific pressure on Mike Arline. You're going to see Wichita State try to get the ball inside to their horse. Xavier McDaniel.
27 seconds on the shot clock. 39 in the game.
Plenty of time.
20 seconds on the shot clock. McDaniel backing in, kicked it out to Aubrey. Arline with 15 seconds on the shot clock.
There's where you want it.
McDaniel down low, got it off the glass with 23 seconds to play. Now we'll get a timeout for Bradley. We'll stay right here. No, we'll go away. Okay, 22 seconds left in the game. Shockers lead at 81-79. Back in a minute.
The sale at Rusty Egg Ford is the talk of the town, and this is what they're talking about. You get a $1,000 cash rebate on every car and truck in stock. $500 on Tempo, Escort, and EXP. Just $99 down buys any new Rusty Egg Ford car or truck with no payments for 3 months. Own an 85 Bronco 2 for only $98.89 with preferred payments just $207.13.
Welcome back to Peoria. 22 seconds remaining in regulation. Wichita State leading it 81-79. 42 points, a new career high for Xavier McDaniel, but Ted, none bigger than the two he just knocked in off the glass.
No, well, and credit his teammates. They had a great deal of poise. With 38 seconds on the shot clock, they maneuvered the ball until they were able to get it into X. And, of course, he produced at the end of that. Now, Gene Smithson has decided instead of full court pressing that he's going to put just basic man-for-man pressure. I suspect we won't see any double teams, that they'll try to prevent any shot, unguarded shot.
Keep an eye on Boise winners. 12 seconds. Downloaded Williams. Missed it with 9 seconds. Rebound McDaniel. They've got to foul him, and they do. Stops the clock with only 5 seconds. It'll be McDaniel at the line. 1 in the bonus.
Well, Bradley did what they should have. They went to the big horse down inside, and he thought he was fouled. He didn't get the ball in. But Xavier McDaniel on his toes picked up a really key rebound here. Now, he could end the ball game. Let's take a look inside. Xavier in pretty good position. I believe he got a piece of the ball. And then he moved in and grabbed that all-important rebound.
Gene Smithson has pulled the other 4 players back into the backcourt. It's McDaniel at the line.
A free throw here ends the ball game. He can get this one down. And he did. What a game by Xavier McDaniel. What a game.
43 points. Now Gene Smithson wants a timeout.
He wants to be sure they don't foul.
Again, we'll keep it right here. It'll be McDaniel at the line with 1 more free throw, but this timeout coming with 5 seconds left in regulation. The Shockers now leading it 82-79.
Well, a key here is that Gene has called a timeout to be sure that they don't foul. The only way he can lose the ball game is if they foul. I'm not certain at this time whether Bradley has any timeouts left or not. But if they don't have any timeouts left, there's no way they can win the basketball game. Even if they score, Wichita State could just take the ball out and let the clock run out. So Gene has called a timeout to tell them, absolutely don't foul. Even if Bradley scores, even if you give up a shot, just walk the ball out of bounds and it's all over.
And we're told that Bradley has no more timeouts. It'll be McDaniel at the line, and let's tell you right now, since we're running late, our Big Cheese Pizza player of the game tonight, Xavier McDaniel with a career-high 43 points. Right now, maybe about to be 44. Big Cheese will donate another $250 scholarship to the General Scholarship Fund at Wichita State. in the name of Xavier McDaniel and Big Cheese Pizza. And Wichita State on the verge of a big one here in Peoria.
Sheen told the defense, let them shoot it. Let them shoot it. Don't move. Let them run out the clock.
2 seconds. One Boise Winners missed it. That's it. What a ball game for Wichita State, maintaining the poise right down to the final tick of the clock. They win a big one on the road, Ted Owens. The final, Wichita State 82, Bradley 79. Your quick comments.
Well, it's tremendous defense on the part of Wichita State to turn it around. They came out and exploded in the second half, and what a performance out of Xavier McDaniel.
43 points for McDaniel, and the Shocks go to 2-0 in the conference, 6-7 overall. That'll do it for tonight. Next time we'll see you coming up right away Saturday afternoon, I should say, 2:30, when we'll have Illinois State, Wichita State, right here on Kate. But for Ted Owens, Shelley Smith, everybody on the crew, Mark Allen saying good night from Peoria, where the final tonight was Wichita State 82, Bradley 79. Good night. We'll see you Saturday.
Travel accommodations provided by Curdian Travel, the largest travel agency in central Kansas with 4 locations in Wichita. Curdian Travel gets you there so you can get down to business.
Coming up next on the 10 o'clock edition, it looks as if City Commissioner Marjorie Wright is Governor Carlin's choice for that open KCC post. A beauty pageant